Decades ago, probably in the 60s or 70s, when the whole make love not war motto was created, the New Age shift happened. Those times gave fruit to some of the essential technologies we cannot live without today. In a way, drugs had an amazingly significant influence on the shape of the world we live in today. The internet, smartphones, computers, movies, books and TV shows, the way we travel, organize and share, the ease of information and the massive expression of different points of view played a crucial role in raising our consciousness to new heights. But in order to see the bigger picture we need to travel further back. We need to see the past to understand the future we are entering. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? It all started in the Age of Enlightenment. It was a period from 1650 to 1780 and it was called Age of Enlightenment for a reason. The cultural and intellectual forces in Western Europe emphasized reason, analysis, and individualism rather than traditional lines of authority. People stopped trusting so much in stories of gods and focused on proving their existence, or scientifically understanding the universe we live in. Those 130 years set the foundations of our modern understanding of science, even though it is much more evolved nowadays. The 1800s. Those were the years when the seeds from the Enlightenment era flourished. Many discoveries and inventions, many breakthroughs and changes to the functioning of the world were made that will change it forever. Many of the largest companies today started then. People invented more and more. People wanted more and more. People gave more and more. The first industrial revolution happened in the years of 1760 to somewhere around 1820. This was the transition from hand production to machines. In 1840s to 1870s it evolved into the second industrial revolution with economic and technological progress with steam-powered railways, boats and ships. The final and greatest revolution began with electricity and the discovery of electrification in 1890s, continuing with the development of the automotive industry in the early 1900s. World War I and World War II. The world was rapidly changing, and when change comes, people either fear it or use it in their benefit. It was the mix of these both factors that created World War I, starting from July 28, 1914, lasting full 4 years until November 11, 1918. It resulted in terrifying number of casualties. More than 30 million people died. It was one of the deadliest conflicts in history, paving the way for major political changes, including revolutions in many of the nations involved. There was calm before the storm, well, another storm. 21 years of political, technological and scientific competitions when World War II started in 1st of September 1939. It lasted 6 full years and 1 day, ending in 2nd of September 1945. It was even more devastating than World War I. In fact, it was the most destructive event in humanity's history, in which more than 70 million people died. The first half of the 1900s was not a fan of life. It completely changed the shape of the world politically and naturally. It pushed us so far that we invented the atomic bomb. We pushed science to the limits, experimenting with bizarre phenomena like teleporting, invisibility and time travel. After World War II the Cold War started, which made USA and Russia most archest competitors. We developed the intranet and the internet, first for military purposes only. We rocketed off from Mother Earth and opened doors to new frontiers. We started experimenting with drugs and we dived even deeper into the secret realms of human psych. The first wave of love, the hippie movement. Probably seeing so much killing and inhumanity promoted a deep need of re-evaluating who we are as humans. It was necessary to heal the world, and we feared that we were too far over the line of healing. All of this promoted a deep compassion in some people and elevated their consciousness so they'll share a deeper truth with the world. These people were free, bohemian, and they escaped the norms of society. They were on a mission to show the world that it is free and that there is still love. Many of them were just young folk trying something new. Drugs, hallucinogenic drugs mostly. However, the greater purpose was sharing love. They were the rebellions against the games of the grown-ups which almost destroyed the humanity in the world. All of them were labeled hippies. This wave lasted from 1960s to 1970s. The second wave of love, sex, drugs and rock and roll. The second wave started in the late 70s and lasted until the late 80s. It was a period of festivals, music and living free. Almost each and every individual was on drugs. If it wasn't marijuana, it was mushrooms or some hallucinogenic pill. The businessmen supplemented themselves with cocaine and other stimulants to make them earn more money. Sex, drugs and rock and roll was the theme of this period. Young adventurers traveled the world which was slowly healing. We rebelled against the darkness of the night and celebrated the light of the dawn of day. Many influential people that shaped the world we live in today opened their minds exactly in this second wave. That's when they got the brilliant ideas of today's technologies. The consciousness of the world was rapidly growing as well as the population. The 1990s were a period of transition when we did most of our experimentation and search for who we are. Just look at the fashion then, not that today is any better, in fact, today there are almost no clothes in the casual dress code. The 90s were a period when we planted the seed of technology which is flourishing right now. The World Wide Web. However, we feared something. First it was the new millennium, 2000. The first decade of 2000 was all about technology innovation. We crafted the WWW and enhanced it to work better and better. First great websites like Facebook and YouTube were born. First smartphones and mobile apps. We created the one thing we cannot live without right now and called it Wi-Fi. All in all, the world was starting to upload itself on the internet, and this gave us an incredible power of information. We were starting to be more connected than in any known period of human history. Knowing history now better than ever, we became aware of something that made us afraid. We feared old predictions of the end of the world, and being faced with World War I and World War II, it was justified. However, all of those predictions turned out not to be true, obviously. But, there was still one that we dreaded. December 21, 2012, the end of the old world and start of the new era. Many feared the old Mayan prophecy of the end of the world. However, they did not take in consideration the real meaning behind these words. The one prophecy about the end of the world that turned out to be true, was the Mayan prophecy based on their ancient calendar tracking the cosmos around us. It was the end of the old world and the start of the new era. These 3 years were years of ascending our consciousness and awakening, and now, we are at the dawn of this new era. 2015, the dawn of the new era. With each and every single one of us being on a mission of diving deep into ourselves and searching for the truth that global consciousness of the world elevated. These 3 years were the shift between individualization, separating from everyone else, to an extreme where everyone became as unique as possible, finding our true light, finding our I am, and turning towards mutual unity, sharing the truths we have discovered. We did this with the giant help of the internet. In fact, without it we could not have made it possible. We separated to a point that we understood that we belonged together. We discovered our uniqueness and saw that we are the same at the core. We are uniquely the same, more connected than ever. This helped us accelerate the speed through which we discover the secrets of the universe. This helped us accelerate the evolution of science and technology. The Large Hadron Collider discovered the Higgs boson in its first run from 2009 to 2013. This changed everything because it completed the standard model of physics. Now, we are at the gates of a new era. The LHC started its second run on 3rd of June 2015, and its power is even greater. In other words, we are diving even deeper into space, and some believe we'll discover new set of particles which will be revolutionary for humanity. Supersymmetry is something scientists think they'll find more about. However, for the first time in known science, we have no idea what we are looking for. We have no idea if there is anything else to look for. These are revolutionary times for humanity, no question about that. We are all standing together looking at the darkness of space, and none of us know what we'll find out. Global systems are changing, eco-friendly technologies are integrating across the world, awareness and consciousness are higher than ever, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, quantum technology and interstellar travel are closer to reality than ever. Wars decrease and ideals change. However, these are the most crucial times to work even harder.
Hello. Did you know that the exact recipes for developing miraculous, physical psychic abilities like telekinesis, teleportation, radical healing, materialization and many, many others have been known for thousands of years? Ancient texts from India give the exact methods to develop these skills, but these conventional methods take years, even decades of meditation and grueling dedication to master. Fortunately, A remarkable new training method has been discovered that can awaken these dormant powers that you already possess much, much sooner. And with far less effort than you can imagine. Learn to make honest-to-goodness, physical miracles with your mind power alone. Let Miracle Mastery take you by the hand and lead you through the step-by-step exercises that will get you there. See the link in the description to visit the All Things Psychic website so you can learn more about Miracle Mastery right now.